After talking about it for years, J. Cole finally released his long-awaited album, The Fall Off, and did it live up to expectations? Let's talk about it. J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I've been listening to him for well over 15 years at this point. We don't need to rehash it. I've talked about this in some of my other J. Cole videos. I have purchased every single album that this man has ever put out in his career, and I've been looking forward to The Fall Off for a very long time. Over the last few years, going into this, in my mind, I thought I knew where J. Cole was going with this album, but a few weeks ago, J. Cole got on social media and he confirmed that this was going to be a double disc album. The first disc was going to be from the perspective of J. Cole at the age of 29. The second disc was going to be from the perspective of J. Cole at the age of 39. So at that point, I had no idea what to expect. I was just excited to go on this journey. This album is like the perfect mixture of all of J. Cole projects. Like, it's elements from the Come Up, the Warm Up, KOD, For Your Eyes Only, the Off Season. It's like J. Cole took his entire career, put it in a blender, and gave us The Fall Off. Like I was saying at the beginning, J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I am a huge J. Cole fan, but I'm not a stan and I'm not a glazer. To me, nobody's above criticism. Even if I like you, I'm still going to criticize you. This is a fair and level-headed review from a genuine J. Cole fan. To me, The Fall Off is a good album. At moments, it's a really great album, but I do feel like it came up short in some aspects, and impact-wise, I don't think this is going to be looked at as an all-time album. Usually when I do album reviews, I go track by track and I say what I like, what I don't like. This album is way too long. We are not going to do that. We're going to break this video into sections. We're going to talk about features. We're going to talk about production. We're going to talk about lyrics, overall impressions, critiques, and final thoughts. It's a lot that I have to say about this album. I'm sure this video is going to be really long. I'm sorry. Let's talk about it. The joke around J. Cole has been the same for years at this point. He went platinum with no features, and with that, it's always hard to guess and predict who will actually be on a J. Cole project. And with the features that we do get on The Fall Off, I would not have guessed these names at all, but I feel like every single one of them killed it. On the song Run a Train, for example, the first time that I listened to this album, I was at the gym. I was walking on a treadmill like, damn, J. Cole kind of sound like Future on this. So I started scrolling through Twitter because I thought I was tripping, but I feel like for most of us, we all had the same first impression because it kind of sounds like J. Cole, but then it also sounds like Future, but it's been confirmed that it is Future. The hook on that song is so good to me. That hook has been stuck in my head since the first time that I listened to it. It's so simple. You feel the pain. Future's inflection sounds great. It sounds different. It just works. We get Future again a few songs later on Bunch Road Blues. I hope I said that right. I feel like you could say this about every feature he does, but again, Future killed this song. Future, he's doing the play on Usher's classic Nice and Slow song. I thought that was a good flip. The star of this song, though, is Tems. My God. Also, shout out to Boss. I believe he wrote all of or some of her verse, but Tems is just such an amazing artist. She has such a unique voice and she's fine as hell. I wish she was singing to me like that. But challenging her for the best feature on this entire album is Burna Boy. Burna Boy left Earth on his part of Only You. I wouldn't have been upset if this was an interlude and this was like just his song. And I'm saying this, I don't even like Burna Boy like that. He seemed like a piece of shit to me. But Burna Boy and Tems on their songs, I was like, J. Cole, just keep looping the beat and just let them keep flowing between those two and Future. Great additions. Petey Pablo was solid for his contribution on Old Dog. If you from the South and you in your 30s, I'm sure you know about that. Take your shirt off, twist it around your head, spinning like a helicopter. Moray, I believe that's how you say his name. He was on the song What If. He sounded fine for what he did, but the song in general, we'll talk about that in a second. We didn't get a lot of them, but I enjoyed every feature on this album. I am surprised that we didn't see some names. Like, I'm really surprised that we didn't get a JID feature. I feel like that could have been sort of a cool pass the torch moment. I'm not surprised or disappointed, but it would have been nice to see a feature from a Nas or a feature from a Jay-Z, but that's just me dreaming. But the features that we did get, no complaints on my end. The production on this album. Production for J. Cole has been pretty hit or miss over the course of his career, especially early in his career, because J. Cole did a lot of his own production, which I respect, but it would have been nice to see J. Cole working with a variety of different producers like we've seen him do over the last few years, especially on this recent feature run that he's been on. Looking through production credits, if accurate, it looks like Cole produced on about 14 of the 24 songs. T minus, if my counting is correct, worked on about 15 of the songs, so most of this album was produced by Cole and T minus. Of course, the legend Alchemist contributed to one of the best songs on the album with Bunch Road Blues with Tim's and Future, and that's the thing. Alchemist produced this song entirely by himself, and it's one of the best songs on this album. Overall, the production on this album I don't think is bad or whack by any stretch of the imagination, but it would have been cool to see J. Cole work with a variety of different producers if this is supposed to be his final album. Like, I wish J. Cole would have just took a seat back and just let other people provide the beats while he just focuses on the rhymes. I don't know if it's pride, I don't know if it's comfort, I don't know if it's a financial situation, but Cole likes to keep a lot of things in-house. Songs like Safety, Run the Train, Poor Thoughts, all have great beats in my opinion. That Who the F Is You song with that beat, that hook, and then that beat switch at the end, shout out to all the sidewalk niggas like me, absolute fire. Off the top of my head, one of the biggest risks that J. Cole has taken in his career, at least musically, is the Let Out. That song came completely out of left field. Based off the internet, the Let Out seems like it has people split. Like, I feel like this is one of those songs that you either love or you hate. And boy, do I love this song, because I remember those days. I remember back in the day when I was partying, and I remember afterwards those parking lot experiences. And I'm not saying this to sound cool, but I've been close to way more shootings, and I'm proud to say I'll be over here. I'm trying to talk to a woman, and here come dudes over here. They fighting, they shooting it, and they mess the entire vibe up. I love this song, and I love how different it sounds. This might be a bit of a hot take, but looking at this track list, there are some songs that I think have great production. There are some songs where I think the production, like, it's just cool. Like, it's not bad, it's just cool. But there are two songs on here that I don't like the beat at all. This might be a hot take, but I don't like Old Dog, and I don't like 2-6. That Old Dog beat is fucking terrible to me. It sounds like something that I would make, and I have no experience with making beats. Final thing on the production, I do feel like on disc 2, there are some moments where I feel like the production really drags. Again, it's not bad, it's just okay. But let's talk about the lyrics on this album, because oh my god, Cole lyrically, when it comes to putting words together, is at a level 100. The amount of words that he uses, the rhyme patterns, the way that he ties words together. Like, there are multiple points on this album where he's rapping a long verse and he's not just ending his lines with bat, hat, cat. This man is rhyming the entire line with the entirety of the next line and so on. He's doing that for an entire verse. Like, the way that J. Cole is rapping on this project, he is rapping at a completely different level than a lot of people in the game right now. So the album is broken into 2 discs. The first disc is a younger Cole at the age of 29. The second disc is an older Cole at the age of 39. Young Cole was a wild nigga. Poor motherfucking thing. I hate the rap beef conversation that happened a few years ago, but Cole ethered some random dude from his city and he went absolutely crazy. I hate the whole rap beef conversation, but boy, do I wish J. Cole talked to Kendrick Lamar that way. Cole called this man a bitch and a punk bitch for an entire verse, and he was like, leave the gun at home, nigga. We can scrap. And just a note, Cole was 29 in 2014, so this was around Forest Hills Drive time. This man Cole was in a recording booth recording Love Yours, got out the booth, and was still ready to knock a nigga out. I do love this song. It's one of my favorite songs on this album. I do love this verse, but I am kind of blown that Cole even gave this dude attention, because I feel like Cole talked about him twice. I'm pretty sure this is the same dude he was talking about on one of the verses on Safety, because I'm sure when this dude heard this song, he was probably on his bed jumping up and down. Speaking of Safety, Safety is another great song, and it reminded me just how stupid a lot of people on the internet are. Since this album came out, I haven't seen a bunch of people talking about it, but I have seen a few rumblings of people trying to say that J. Cole is homophobic, and people are criticizing J. Cole for the third verse on this song. This entire song is from the perspective of other people. The third verse talks about a guy they knew from back home who recently passed away. He was gay and he moved to Atlanta where he became more comfortable with himself. The person is telling Cole that he regrets how the city distanced themselves from him because they were being homophobic, and he wishes he could apologize. I think it's great that J. Cole decided to shine a light on that story and highlight the way that some people think. Like with this song Safety, it reminded me of the warm-up. It felt like it could have easily been placed on that mixtape, and I knew I wasn't tripping. I saw some somebody else point this out on Twitter. On the warm-up, it's a song called Hold It Down. And in one of the verses, he says something like, yo, man, this girl Sabrina, she's still the baddest. And then on Safety, in one of the verses, he says something like, Brina, she's still bad. I knew I wasn't tripping. Cole, you can't fool me. Cole, throughout this album, talked about a variety of topics. He touched on a lot of deep subject matter. Like at some points in the album, he talked about his relationship situation with his wife. He talked about mental health. On Safety, he talked about the gay community. On Run a Train, he talked about the Gaza Strip and how it compares to his city, and it's a never-ending cycle of violence. From a technical perspective, Cole delivered some of the best verses in his entire career. The rhyme scheme on Who the F Is You, where the entire first verse uses the same rhyme scheme throughout the entire verse, is insane. His last verse on the 39 intro is straight bars, and Cole has just mastered putting words together. In most cases, when rappers get older, their pen usually gets worse. In J. Cole's case, I would make the argument that at this point in his career, from a technical standpoint, J. Cole is rapping maybe 10, 20 times better than the way that he was rapping when he first came out. As a longtime fan, his verse on Hit the Gas towards the end of disc 1, where he's talking about being on the phone with his younger self and seeing him cry, and he's trying to hold on and be strong, and then Current Cole says that he puts his kids on the phone so he can see that he doesn't make a mistake. As a longtime Cole fan, that's such a real and beautiful moment. His verse on Quick Stop, where he's talking about his interaction with the fan that was selling weed, is one of my favorite songs on the album. The guy reminded Cole just how loved he is, and Cole remembered that it's more to music than just money and cars. Like Cole, in that moment, he's at the gas station, he's trying to be low key, he doesn't want to be recognized. He comes across this fan, and then he's reminded, yo, my music actually impacts people's lives and actually helps them get through dark times. For me, that verse is some real shit. Like, I can only imagine from J. Cole's perspective, who he's probably thinking like, man, when I was coming up, I was just making music with my friends, and now I'm impacting millions of people's lives. Like, people like me, J. Cole helped me get through some really rough times. Like I've always said, if I ever met J. Cole, I just want to shake his hand and say thank you, because that man got me through some really dark times in my life. With all that being said, lyrically, I think this is a great album. Emphasis on lyric stuff. For overall impressions and critiques, overall, I think this is a really good album. I've listened to this album maybe 5 or 6 times at this point. It's a really long album. I think this is a good project, but I do have some issues with it. Number 1, it's okay to have some features. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I feel like sometimes J. Cole just gets in his own way. Like early on in his career, J. Cole received a lot of criticism because he was doing a lot of his own production. He was making his own beats. And in some cases, I feel like that was fair criticism. Fast forward, I feel like it's fair criticism for people to say, J. Cole, we don't need you singing all the time now. Vocally, Cole really pushes himself on this album, and I feel like he was attempting some things that he's never really tried before. And I get with this album, this is a very personal album. This album is very close to J. Cole. I feel like it could have used more features in general, but at least it could have used some R&B features. The beginning of 39 intro sounded like a layup for someone like Miguel, who he's worked with multiple times. Before I knew it was Future, on Run a Train, I thought J. Cole was trying to sound like Future. And then on this song, it sounds like J. Cole is trying to sound like Miguel. Just call him. On Bombs in the Ville, I don't think I've ever heard J. Cole hit a high note like that before. I'm good. I know this is a concept album. I know this album is personal for Cole. I'm sure J. Cole wanted to do a lot of this himself, but for 24 songs, an hour and 40 minutes, as a J. Cole fan, that is a lot of J. Cole. I feel like he could have used the help of some features to help lift this album up. I feel like it would have been good to help break this album up, because you can tell the greatest story in the world. The point of music is to have people wanting to listen to your songs over and over again. The song What If, to me, is fucking disgusting. I get what Cole is saying. I'm sure his heart is in the right place, but you can't do that. It's kind of how I felt with Kendrick Lamar on The Heart Part 5 being Nipsey Hussle and saying that he forgives his killer. The song is about Tupac and Biggie's beef and how it was a misunderstanding and how it could have ended differently. I don't know if maybe I'm overthinking it, but for me, the song is nasty. Like I said, I get what Cole is trying to do. I get what Cole is trying to say, but for me, swing and a miss. I also don't like the song I Love Her Again. I'm probably never going to listen to that outside of this project. It's not even that it's a bad song, but it's just like, okay, Another song where hip hop is a metaphor as a woman. I feel like we've heard this a million times. I feel like J. Cole has done verses in the past where he's used this same exact metaphor. A bunch of rappers have used this metaphor. People owe Common his flowers. I think Common was the first rapper to do this, which started the whole Ice Cube beef. Not even a bad song. Like, lyrically, it's cool, but it's just, bro, I'm tired of this. I don't need another song about the love for hip hop and hip hop being a woman. Old Dog, in my opinion, is probably the worst song on this album to me, and Life Sentence is another skip. I also feel like I enjoyed Disc 1 a lot more than Disc 2. And I'm not saying it's like J. Cole is wrong, but I don't think with this project, J. Cole really gave fans what they wanted. This was a very personal album for J. Cole. J. Cole made the album that he wanted to make, and I respect that. I love the concept. I just feel like musically, this isn't a great double album. 2014 Forest Hills Drive, from a concept perspective, I feel like was a perfect album. I feel like he did a great job highlighting his entire life, starting with the intro track January 28th, then him going to high school, him dealing with problems in his neighborhood, him getting a record deal, him getting success in the music industry, with the album ending where he was at his current day. I don't feel like The Fall Off executed that same sort of concept better than he did there. I don't know, like on Disc 2, he's supposed to be older. He's supposed to be 39 years old. It's supposed to be more mature Cole. It seems like on Disc 2, he's just fed up with a bunch of stuff in life. And it's not that, I want to be clear, it's not that I think the music is bad by any stretch. It's not that it's bad music. It's just like, it's cool. I don't need this to be a double album. But that's the thing with double albums. Double albums are hard to do. Double albums are hard to be looked at as great projects because you get a chance to say more, but you also get an opportunity to get more criticism. It's kind of how I feel with Drake and Scorpion. Drake is one of my favorite artists of all time. Scorpion, if you trim a lot of the fat off and you condense Scorpion down to maybe 14, 15 songs, is one of the best albums that Drake has ever made in his career. It's kind of how I feel with The Fall Off. If you make this one disc and you trim this down to maybe 16, 17 songs, this is easily one of the best albums that J. Cole has ever made. For me in general, and I don't think it's fatigued because I've tried to listen to just Disc 2 at times, so I don't listen to the entire thing in a row. It just kind of drags for me. And even with the songs that I do like on Disc 2, I don't know if months from now I'm gonna be going back and listening to him. It's like J. Cole had a story that he wanted to tell, and I respect that, but I just feel like he could have executed it in a better way. For me, selfishly, and I'm not saying J. Cole did anything wrong. Like I said, this isn't a bad album. J. Cole made the album that he wanted to make. I'm saying at this portion, just for me selfishly, I don't feel like this felt like this is my final album. This didn't feel like this is my last hoorah type of album. And again, let me be very clear. I'm only talking selfishly at this point. This isn't me deducting points from Cole. I'm not saying Cole did anything wrong. This is just me selfishly. I would have loved for this album to feel more like this is a celebration of my career. I've had a long 15 plus year career. This is a celebration. Like, to me, it would have been cool to see more features from Dreamville artists that he built his label with. It would have been cool to see J. Cole rhyming over beats of people that inspired him when he was growing up, or rapping alongside people that influenced and inspired him when he was growing up. Then it would have truly felt like wow, this is the last J. Cole album. This album in a way kind of feels like a sequel to Forest Hills Drive, which is fine, but I feel like if you're gonna do this concept, he could have done it better. And again, I feel like I've already seen him do that. Final thoughts on J. Cole, The Fall Off. This is a good album. This is a good double album. Lyrically, this is a great album, but all things considered, overall, I can only go as a good or just a very solid project. One thing that I hate about the internet today is I feel like people always go to the extremes with everything. Like, this is either a classic album or this album is trash. It's a good album. I feel like I've seen a lot of praise for this album online, but I've also feel like I've seen a lot of criticism online as well. And some of the criticism that I have seen doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, one thing that I keep seeing people say is the subject matter on this album is the same old J. Cole. J. Cole talked about a lot of topics on this. Every single rapper in history has a variety of topics that they talk about, and they usually stay there. I've seen some people say that on this album he didn't really take any risks, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm listening to this man J. Cole attempting to sing high notes, and he made a song like The Let Out. I feel like the Drake Kendrick Cole battle, whatever you want to call it, the entire civil war that happened, I feel like that did massive damage to hip hop, because I feel like people's brains are cooked. Like, going into this album, the amount of people that I saw saying they want to hear about the beef, they want to hear about the battle. You're going into J. Cole's retirement album looking to listen to bars about Drake and Kendrick, which to me, that's really annoying. He did reference a battle towards the end of Love Like This, where he says, now when it comes to love, jealousy will often creep. The type of games is why two of my homies started to beef. To both of them, she said, you're the best I ever had. And the whole time that bitch was saying that type of shit to me. To his defense, J. Cole has talked about his upbringing throughout his career, but after what happened post-battle, I feel like people are highlighting it more. Like, throughout this album, he made multiple references to him being light-skinned or biracial. And if you remember in 2024, that was a hot topic. But on different songs, I feel like J. Cole said he referenced himself as a mulatto. He said that he's the half-black messiah. And then on another song, he says, I think the best rapper ever has a white mother. You got it, dog. To me, as a huge J. Cole fan, this is a good, not a great album. I feel like lyrically, his pen definitely shined, but songwriting-wise, I feel like it could have been better. Honestly, I don't think this is a project that's gonna make new Cole fans. I feel like if you like J. Cole, you're really gonna enjoy this album. But if you don't like J. Cole, I don't think this is one of those undeniable projects that's gonna change your opinion. Also, when I do these type of reviews, I like to go through and say my 5 favorite songs from this album. This album is 24 songs long, so it was kind of hard for me to pick, but I'm sticking with my 5. If I had to pick my 5 favorite songs from this album, I would say that it's probably Safety, Run a Train, Poor Thing. The Fall Off is Inevitable, which I can't believe I didn't talk about. That's the song that released a few weeks ago. This to track 2. And also, I'm gonna go with Quick Stop. Picking 5 songs from this album is really hard. I mean, Bunts Road Blues is right there. Only You is right there. Who the F is You is right there. But that's the 5 I'm going with. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this topic? Do you like this album? Do you not like this album? Be specific. Don't just be like, oh, I don't like it. Oh, it's a classic. What exactly do you like or not like about this album? Maybe I'm tripping. Do you not like disc 1 more than disc 2? Do you like both discs? Do you think it's an instant classic? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sorry, I feel like this video is already long enough, but let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.